Greetings TVR2A. This is a walkthrough video for Pro Tools Lab 6 using a Mac and Pro Tools Intro. We call this one Pro Tools Edit number 3, also known as the Comedy 3 commercial. It's a 30-second commercial spot, and you'll be given all of the audio assets required, and then you'll be doing edits and doing a volume automation and mixing this out so that it sounds like a completed 30-second commercial. Alright, so I've clicked on our Pro Tools Lab 6. You'll see that it does mention you'll be getting a zip file, and inside that zip file will be two different WAV files. So let's go ahead and download that here. Alright, it's right here. It says zip, so I'm going to go ahead and locate it. I'm going to double click on it to unzip. And now this is the blue folder, and inside there I have my two WAV files that I'll need for this project. What I'm going to do is grab that Pro Tools Edit 3 files blue folder and put that into the project drive that I've been using. So I'm going to place that right here, and now I know where it's at when I get ready to run this. Okay, next you want to download the instructions. You can download this, and you can go ahead and open that up. This is important because it does contain the script, which is here at the very, very bottom. And this is how the commercial should sound when it's finished. So you see you have a telephone ring, you got music bed, you have all these different characters coming in and out. So this is your script, and this is the order of all the events. These are all the elements that you're going to be editing into the session. And then I have about 9 instructions that you can go through that helps you with the edit. I'll go ahead and do all of this in real time as well. All right. Again, you might want to print that out. So I'm going to go ahead and drag that off screen, and you can follow along. Alright, so I am ready to go ahead and launch Pro Tools. So let's go ahead and launch Pro Tools. Alright, so I've launched Pro Tools. I'm in Pro Tools. I'm clicking on New. I'm using the session. I'm going to give this the name. It says your name and then the word commercial. So I'll go ahead and put my name and then commercial. It says local storage, prompt for location, file type WAV 44.1 16-bit, last used, interleaved. Let's go ahead and click Create, lower right-hand corner. It asks me where it's going to go, and remember, you always want to point it back to your projects. Just that main projects folder, not any of those folders inside. Right, and here we are. We're in the session. I'm in shuffle mode. I'll be going into slip mode. I'm in Smart Tool, and no other tracks popped up. Remember, on yours, if you get that click track, you can just right-click on it and tell it to delete. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to check my playback engine, make sure everything looks right. And I'm also going to check my I/O. That all looks good. Okay, I'm ready to import that audio into this session. So that's File menu, Import Audio. In here, I'm going to go back to that Documents directory, go to my projects, and what I'm trying to do is find that folder that I unzipped from the very beginning. And mine is called Pro Tools Edit 3 Files. Mine says the number 2. Yours might not say that, but it's just a single click. What I'm trying to get to are these two WAV files, Comedy 3, and then also Music Bed Music. And what I'm going to do is select both of these at once by clicking on one and then holding the Shift key and clicking on the second one. So I want them both highlighted. Okay, so they're both highlighted. Remember, if you don't see all of these windows, make sure that you have expanded that window and make sure you're looking at it in columns view here. Okay, that's usually the best view. Here I'll see the two clips. They're highlighted, they're ready to go. I need to click Copy All. So I'll see those two flow over here to the right-hand side. I'm now ready to go ahead and click Open. It's going to ask me where do I want to put it. And in here, you just click Open again. It asks me, do you want to create new tracks? Yes, I do. So New Track, click OK. And right away, we'll see those two audio files automatically pop up inside of Pro Tools, and they have their own track. All right, we need to do a few things in here because we are going to have to split this up. But you'll see in my step number 4, it says add one additional mono audio track, and then we're going to name the track. So we need one more audio track in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click with Option key on the comedy right here. And then I'm just going to single click on Comedy 3. So I didn't want them both highlighted. And I'm going to do Shift Command N. You could also go to Track menu up here at the top and choose New Track. But I need to create one new mono audio track. It's going to name it audio, but we're going to go and change that in just a second. All right, click Create, and then now I have 3 audio tracks. You can see them here. Now we're going to rename these. So, also, by the way, if that audio track went like to the bottom or it's the wrong order, you can just click on the title of the track, the nameplate. You can click and you can drag those and put them in any order that you want. Okay, I like to have it in this order here. So I have what's going to be the voiceover here, the main announcer, and then the second one is going to be the drops and the effects, and then the third one is my music bed. So that's the order I like. That'll be the same order when we look at our mixer too. You can see here, Comedy 3, Audio 1, and Music Bed. Also double check my outputs look good. Mine is main, so I should be in good shape. All right, so make sure that you are looking at all of these tracks. I can see them here. That was just the command equals to get to the screen. Make sure all the outputs match, and make sure no output is dimmed or italicized or the faders look faint or something. All those are signs that the audio is not going to work. I'm going to click back on this window, and I'm going to go ahead and rename these tracks. So in step 4, it says name the tracks announcer. So the first one is going to be called announcer. And that's a double click on the title plate there, the nameplate, and just type in announcer. And then the second one is going to be called drops/effects. And that's where our telephone rings are going to go, and then the extra characters. And then the last one is our music bed. And we just wanted to say music, so we can just type in the word music so it doesn't say music bed music there. Okay, and then step 5, you'll now split the audio into appropriate sections using B. And we're going to rename each of those clips by double-clicking with the grabber. So let's go ahead and focus in on the announcer track. You'll see there's little gaps, and each of these are going to represent like another element that we're going to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and enlarge it a little bit, just drag down here. I'm going to zoom in with my letter T. So I'm looking at seconds at the top here go by. That looks a little better. And I'm going to go ahead and solo that track so I don't hear the music during this portion. And then I'm going to go ahead and play so that I know what I'm listening to.
Comedy 3, the all-new party joke hotline. Looking for a new joke to tell at the office water cooler? How about a one-liner to zing your obnoxious CEO with? Call us at 866-COMEDY-3 and load up on snappy answers for stupid people.
All right, so I can hear that this is my main announcer. Now, you want to go ahead and quickly take a look at your script here. I'll go ahead and show you what I'm looking at. But this is the section that I have to cut. It says Comedy 3, and after he says obnoxious CEO with, that's actually that's the phrase. I don't want the whole thing to be playing because he comes back here. So I need to go ahead and break that section so that I have those 3 sentences in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So after he says obnoxious CEO with, I'm going to go ahead and place the break.
CEO with. Obnoxious CEO with.
So right here is going to be a break. That's letter B. At the beginning as well, I'll go ahead and do letter B. I'm in slip mode, and I'm going to highlight and delete. That was just getting rid of that blank space. And so this is the announcer. I'm going to double click with that hand, which is the grabber. I do it right here. And I'm going to rename that announcer. And I'm going to call it part 1 because I know he comes back in. So it's announcer part 1. All right, so there's that little piece. And now it's free. I can move that anywhere I want and however I'm going to place that. Let's listen to the second little piece.
Call us at 866-COMEDY-3 and load up on snappy answers for stupid people.
Okay, so that is now the announcer. I'm going to call that part 2. So I'm going to place the break there. Double click with the grabber. And let's go ahead and title that announcer part 2. And that'll make sense in a couple minutes when we actually have to draw it around. All right, what's this next little piece about then?
These people really cracked me up and helped me out on my creativity as I visualize their jokes.
Okay, so this time I'm going to highlight like this because I can see the whole thing. And I'm going to do letter B, which is going to give me a break at the beginning and the end automatically. And I can get rid of this. Remember, I'm in slip mode, so stuff is not going to be moving around. Now, what do we call this one? I like to call this Funny Man. So I call him Funny Man. And I know that he has 2 parts as well, so I'm going to call that part 1. So that's Funny Man part 1. Also, I know he's not the main announcer, so I am going to go ahead and drag him away and put him down here onto this track. And I'll fine-tune that in a minute, but I'm going to get anything that's not the announcer, I'm going to put down here on this drops track. Okay, let's see what I have next here.
You know, it's intense stuff, dude.
So that's the Funny Man again. So I'm going to highlight it. I'll do letter B and get rid of this dead space. Double click. I'm going to call this Funny Man Part 2. And again, I can also drag him down to this other track. And what do I have left here? Let's see.
Call us now at 866-COMEDY-3.
That's 866-COMEDY-3.
Okay, nice. So I have a female announcer. And I'm going to go ahead and break that as well, get rid of that, double click, and I'll just call this female announcer. And I'm going to put that sound down on the drops too because she's sort of extra to the actual announcer person. So I consider her like a drop. All right, and then let's see what I have left here. I'm going to drag this in. The telephone. All right, so that telephone ring, my sound effect. Letter B, this time I can click to the right and to the left, and I get rid of all of that stuff. So now when I look at the whole thing, you can see it's sort of, haphazardly dragged around. There's little pieces, stuff is missing, but everything is separated like I want it. Let's go ahead and rename that phone, by the way. Double click, and this is telephone. And telephone will also go down to the bottom. All right, so that's our main kind of production work where we went ahead and separated all of the regions or all the clips. And now we're ready to put this into a meaningful order according to this script that we're looking at here. We have a music bed too, and really all we're going to be doing with that music bed is renaming, so it doesn't say music bed music, it just says music. And we will have to fine-tune exactly where that's going to start. The commercial itself is a 30-second spot, and you'll see my 30 seconds is right about here. And so I do have a little bit of space here that I'll be dealing with that music. So I'm probably going to drag that music to about here so that the end of the commercial ends with that last little punch of the music. Okay, and that's the music bed. All right, I'm going to keep that music track from playing, and the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to go ahead and mute it now. So I'm going to hit the letter M on the music track, and I'm going to go ahead and figure out how I'm going to put the order of these things. Now, on our script, it says the first item is actually that telephone. So here's the telephone. Let's go ahead and drag it all the way to the beginning, and let's listen. I'm going to hit spacebar.
Comedy 3, the all-new...
All right, that's pretty cool, isn't it? So I'm going to zoom in even closer because I see there's a little bit of space there. I'm also going to trim that out just for good measure. Slide it over. And my idea of the commercial is that the music plays, I mean, not the music, but the telephone is going to ring, and then the announcer is going to start to talk, and he's going to start to talk, you know, kind of right about here. Let's see how that works.
Comedy 3, the all-new
That's pretty close, isn't it? That's pretty close.
Comedy 3, the all-new party.
I can fine-tune this as well. I'm just doing these in small
Comedy
stuff.
3, the all-new party joke hotline. Looking for a new joke to tell at the office water cooler? How about a one-liner to zing your
People really
obnoxious
crack me up
CEO
and help
with?
me
All right, so now we see we gotta have to move some stuff around. So I'm gonna push him way back. I'm gonna bring the funny man here, and what's gonna happen is it's gonna go from this announcer
Go with.
These people really crack
right to the funny man, and then at the end of the funny man, it's going back to that announcer, and it looks like it might work right about here.
realize their joke.
Call us at 866 Comedy 3.
That was a little. I'm gonna just spread this a little more to the right,
Their joke.
Call us at 8.
even a little more maybe.
Their joke.
Call us at 866 Comedy 3 and load up on snappy answers for stupid people.
All right, and we're gonna push this over here too. We have that female announcer too. Let's go ahead and take a look at our script and see, make sure we're not getting off here. It says funny man. We did that. And then it says male announcer. We did that. And then we have the female announcer come in with call us now at 866 Comedy 3. So I need to go ahead and switch positions. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab it, move it, put that female announcer here, and then put this funny man right about here. And again, I'm just tightening these up based on what I'm seeing. And I'm also looking at my time. I got to make sure I'm not beyond 30 seconds here. So let's hear how this transitions.
Stupid people.
Call us now at 866 Comedy 3. That's 866 Comedy 3.
You know, it's intense stuff, dude.
Well, that's pretty close, right? Now I could even get that a little tighter if I went ahead and moved this.
People.
Call us now.
So I could go ahead and move that one, and if I hold Shift key, I can click on both and just slide it a little bit to the left.
People.
Call us now at 866 Comedy 3. That's 866 Comedy 3.
You know, it's intense stuff, dude.
All right, I think it's sounding pretty good. Right, it's getting very, very close. Now, I do run into an issue right here because I am, according to my script, let's look at it again. Let's reference it. It says here, male announcer, call us at, and then it says this word, underscore with the telephone ring. That means I got to use that telephone twice. So let's see how we're going to figure that part out. So if I got the telephone here, but then he's going to speak here about call us.
Call us at 866 Comedy 3.
And I'm supposed to have that telephone ring again. So how am I supposed to do this? Well, all you need to do is just copy this telephone ring. So I'm going to click it once with grabber, Command C for copy, and then I'm going to paste it right here. Click once with the cursor so it's flashing, Command V. Now I've got that telephone a second time.
Realize their joke.
Call us at 866 Comedy 3 and load up on snappy answers for stupid people.
Call us now at 866 Comedy 3. That's 866 Comedy 3.
You know, it's intense stuff, dude.
All right, so I have my production pretty much laid out. Now, there are a few things that concern me in terms of volume-wise. Notice that the volume from here,
Your obnoxious CEO with.
These people really crack me up.
this is a little quieter. It's a little softer, isn't it? And I can even visually notice that the waveform looks a little bit smaller too. Now, I could zoom in. That will make a slight difference there. But it still looks like overall it's a little weak.
With.
These people really.
So remember the lower left-hand corner, we do have that little clip gain. I'm going to bump it up just by about 3.5 dB. And that'll just increase the volume here so that it's a little bit louder.
Obnoxious CEO with.
These people really crack me
That's
up and
better.
help me out on my creativity as I visualize their joke.
Call us at 866 Comedy.
And then that telephone, and for my preference, is actually a little loud. So I'm going to draw that down.
Call us at 866-COMEDY-3.
Also, I think it's a little too long, so I'm actually even going to do this, shorten it.
Joke.
Call us at 866-COMEDY-3 and load up on snappy answers for stupid people.
Call us now at
Okay, and then the female announcer I feel also needs a little boost, so I'm going to go up 3.5.
Call us now at 866-COMEDY-3. That's 866-COMEDY-3.
You know, it's intense stuff, dude.
And then I'll just bump him just a little bit, since this is the end of the commercial.
You know, it's intense stuff, dude.
All right, so I've now arranged. I'll go ahead and zoom out so you can see what the whole thing is looking like. Okay, you can start to see it's starting to take shape. And now we get to get that music in here. So I'm going to go ahead and activate the music by unmuting it. And I'm not going to adjust volume yet because I want to see how does it sound right now.
Comedy 3, the all-new party joke hotline. Looking for a new joke to tell at the office water cooler? How about a one-liner?
All right, okay, I dig it. So I actually like the music starting there. Let's check the end, too, to see what we think about the ending of the music.
You know, it's intense stuff, dude.
That's good. He says it's intense stuff, dude. You hear a beat of music, and then you hear the punch of the music. Let's go ahead and shorten that dead space out, too. So I like the actual placement of my music track. You can see that it's coming in right during the telephone ring, but also a little before he starts to speak. But I do notice that when he's speaking, the music is a little bit too loud. But I like the music volume, the very beginning, I like it loud.
Comedy 3, the all-new...
So I think when he starts to say Comedy 3, we need to reduce that music track, and we're going to do that with some automation. And automation is a way for us to draw in a volume change that will occur over time. And to get to that automation lane, we're going to go here to the lower left-hand corner of the music track. Kind of right to the left side of this clock, there's a little, looks like a diagonal line, and we're going to single click. And when we do this, you're going to see that another new kind of additional pathway opens up below the music track. It says the word volume, and it has a solid line. And that is the location of this fader over here for my music. So this fader right here at 0, that's the 0 point right there. So if I move this, for example, down, you'll see that blue line just went down. And vice versa, if I click on this and drag it up, you'll see that that fader just went up. Okay? But I want it at 0 as it starts. So this line is actually going to control the volume of this fader, and that fader is controlling the volume of the music. So I like music strong, but then when he starts to speak, we need to draw it down. So let's go ahead and figure out how that's going to work.
Comedy 3.
So right when he starts to say comedy, I'm going to go ahead and put in a data point. And the way I'm going to do this is I hold Command key, and I'm going to click with the mouse right here at this location. And then I'm going to hold Command key again. I'm going to go a little bit to the right, and I'm going to click another data point right in there. Now think of that first one as my anchor. So when I grab this one, it doesn't move that dot there. Okay, and I'm going to drag it down to about maybe minus 14 or so. And it's a little diagonal line. Let's hear if I can hear that volume change.
Comedy 3, the all-new party joke hotline. Looking for a new joke to tell at the...
Yeah, see, now the voice is up front. It's in front of your mix. And you can hear the music in the background, right? Just since it's a music bed, it's supposed to be below the text. So we actually can have some feeling of music, but it's not overbearing. So I like that little move. Remember, it's just hold Command key. I'm in Smart Tool mode. Command key will get me the plus finger. You just click that dot, and now you can grab that dot and move it. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and see if I can raise the music back at the end so that I have it come back up to where it was. Let's give it a listen.
It's intense stuff, dude.
So I'm going to have it sort of raise right after he says, or right during when he says the word dude. And I'm going to go like this. And I'm just going to grab this and get it back up to 0 point.
6 Comedy 3.
You know, it's intense stuff, dude.
That's kind of cool, isn't it? So the music is down. anytime they're speaking, but as soon as that voice stops, I like to bring that music back, and as long as it's done by the 30-second mark, we're in good shape. And this is pretty close. I'm within a fraction of a second or so of 30. So this is almost as close as you can get. And you'll see the timer, if you watch the timer here at the top, the little counter.
Intense stuff, dude.
Right when we hit that last little bump, you see it turns 30. So that would be a solid 30-second spot. So again, this is automation, this line down here. You can always show it or hide it by clicking on that little box. It's still there even when you hide it, so it's not like it's deleting it. Also, if you put in dots, for example, and then you decide, oh, I didn't want to do this, or you're not happy with it, you can just highlight any dots you put in and just delete key, and that'll erase them. Okay. You can also hold Option key and just click on a dot. You see how it has a minus, and that will also erase it. So Option key, click, erase. Command key, click, puts the automation data in. And this fader over here is actually going to go up and down based on whatever you do here for your volume. All right, so I've listened to it. I'm happy with it. I'm ready to go ahead and do the last step, which is the bounce. So I'm going to do Command S to save. And then I'm going to bounce this. So I'm going to go to about here. At 30. I'm going to drag all the way to the left. I did that up here in the timeline. And now I go to File menu. And I'm going to choose Bounce Mix. This is all the same stuff we've done before. We'll go ahead and call this we'll call it Your Name Commercial. Let me just double check on our instruction sheet. Alright, this all looks good. Slip mode, we've done this. Tire commercial. Yes, so I didn't give you a specific name. So it looks solid to me. So I'm actually going to name this, to make it a little smaller, I'm just going to call it GD Commercial. So my initials commercial, it's MP3. My mix source is whatever my main is. File format is interleaved. Sample rate is 44.1. Session folder goes to my bounce files, and then I click offline so that it does it very quick. Click bounce. It's going to ask me to give it an MP3 name. Just click OK again. All right, just finalized. I'll do Command S one more time. Command Q to quit. And now I'm ready to go ahead and upload that assignment. So I'm going to go ahead and go into Student View real quick. I'm ready to click Start Assignment. Don't forget there are some questions to answer here towards the bottom. Get back up to the rocket ship. Here's those questions, those 5 questions. And now you need to go locate that MP3. Now remember how this works. It's in your project drive or project folder. You go into the name of the session, which we called Your Name Commercial, single click. And inside there, you're going to see that Bounce Files folder. Okay, and that's where it went automatically. And there's the MP3. Okay, all of the audio, by the way, for that session is being stored in this audio files folder by Pro Tools. So Pro Tools needs to see where that folder is at all times. The .ptx, remember, that's just the Pro Tools session that contains no audio. And then also you see this other little folder popped up, Session File Backups. This is like emergency, like Pro Tools is backing up your work even though you don't save it. It's backing it up every few minutes just based on the work that you're doing. So even though you do Command S, which you want to do all the time, every once in a while you haven't done it and then your system crashes. Worst case, you could get into the backups and try to double click on one of these and it'll bring you close to where you were at. But anyway, this is the MP3. Remember to give it a listen.
Comedy 3, the all-new...
Okay, make sure that's the right file. Make sure it sounds right and nothing's missing. If you just hear the announcer but you don't hear the music, you need to get back and do that bounce again. Usually that's the output is wrong, or maybe you accidentally had the music track muted. So just double check that all your outputs are correct. But this is the file that I'm going to drag to Rocket Ship. And then I click comments. I answer those questions up here, and then go ahead and click Submit Assignment. Once you click Submit Assignment, you'll see the confetti, and you're in good shape. All right. Hope that is fun. And if you have questions, please let me know. Other than that, good luck and have fun.